Oh, it was a battle. Fought late. They did a great job of executing, and that was the difference in the game. I'm disappointed. Obviously, no one likes to lose, but I'm not discouraged. I think my team's had a great year, and obviously now our eyes look forward to the postseason and look forward to Greensboro. We didn't play our best tonight, but they had a little something to do with that, and hopefully we learn. Now it's one and done. So you've got to learn in game and learn on the fly to be a successful postseason team, and hopefully my young group will do that.
All right, open up for some questions. If you want to start.
What did you do so well in the second period that you couldn't do down the stretch in the fourth quarter?
I'd have to look at the film to kind of give you a really accurate answer, but I thought we defensively just got more stops, and that allowed us to run. I thought our pace picked up a little bit in the second. I don't know how many threes we made in that quarter, but I think, we made some outside shots too against the zone, and that gave us some confidence.
Hey, Coach, Reagan was 1 for 9 today, didn't score until the fourth quarter. Can you talk about maybe what you thought went wrong for her and what your message is to her going forward to the ACC tournament?
Yeah, listen, it's hard to, as a guard, shoot well all the time. And so it was just kind of one of those games for her. I thought she was a little rushed in the first half with some of her shots, and because she's normally pretty accurate when she's in rhythm. And I thought she was a little out of rhythm for whatever reason. But I love that kid, and she's had an amazing year for us, and just kept putting her in because I believe in her, and I believe that she'll make a play for us. Tough night for her offensively, but she'll bounce back.
And then on the other side of that, Alyssa Utsby was 2 for 13 the first time you guys played, 8 for 14 tonight. Maybe same kind of thing. What went wrong there down there with her?
Yeah, listen, she's a talented player, and obviously, a senior on senior day, and certainly losing the first game and not playing well. Just think about your personal emotions in that situation. Like, you would want to get back and play really well. So we knew they'd have an incredible response today, and they did. And she's a tough guard one-on-one on the block, and I thought she did a great job finishing.
Can you talk about your defensive strategy towards the end of the game, getting the press, and then ending up getting the shots kind of tied at the end?
Yeah, we were trying to see if we could get a turnover. We were also seeing if we could get a jump ball because the possession error was our way. Just any way to kind of flip the possession without having to foul first, and we got a couple. I look to tie it, a layup. You'll take that, and that's why I said, I love my guys, man. They battled. It was a tough environment, and they battled back. They battled back multiple times in the game. If you think about it, you think about the first quarter and being down 10, and they came out with a great first punch, and we battled back to take the lead at halftime. There is good in this for us, and there's also some learning. The bad is like learning, and for my group to be in a possession game, you just don't have a lot of those, and I have 8 of my 11 are freshmen and sophomores, so it's really good for them to be in. Okay, now we need the ball. Okay, we need to foul. We need to trap. All that is great. For them to do it. So hopefully we'll take these lessons and bring them over to the postseason.
How much did – sorry, Jamie.
You touched on it a little bit just now with the 8 of 11 being freshmen. Your underclassmen actually scored all of your points in the third quarter. Is that kind of a positive for you guys going into, like you called it, one and done season?
I do think we've just continually grown throughout the course of the year. We have been playing our best basketball in February. If you've watched us at the start of the year, and then you look at just the tough schedule that we had in February and how we've been able to navigate that. And so I've been really pleased with my young players and how they've attacked, and they're not afraid. That's the thing. They want to play well. They don't play well all the time, but they're not afraid of moments, and they're not afraid of competing. And I think that is what I bring into the postseason, is that I've got a group that's eager to compete and wants to play well.
Talk about the experience of your team. They're doing senior day out there with players have been through a lot with Alyssa and Deja. How much do you think that experience from those particular players impacts at the end of the game?
Yeah, that's hard that's a hard one. That's a good question, but it's a hard one. I don't know. Because if we'd have won, then would we have said it didn't? You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like a result based. There's no doubt that, I think as a player, and I'm speaking as a player, I don't want to speak for their team and their players. There's no doubt as a player, the more that you're in situations, the more comfortable you are. And the more you know how you're going to respond physically and even emotionally, because even though they're standing out there, there's a lot of emotions bubbling up in players, like there's pressure. We saw people miss free throws, right? Like there's pressure that's associated with all that. So I'm sure it helped them. I know it helped me as a player. I don't know that it hurt us per se. I think like they just executed better down the stretch. I mean, plain and simple, and that's why they got the win.
Was it tougher this game than the first game for you to drive to the hoop against their zone? Did they do it differently than the first game, or?
They were in a different zone. It was a different zone tonight than it was the first game. So I think I think the zone they were in tonight was more crowded in the middle than the one they were in the first game. It's hard. I have to go back and look to see if we got the same number of drives. What I think hurt us more than that was the turnovers in the second half. We only had 4 at the half, and we ended with 17. So that's 13 in that second half, and missing those opportunities and giving them those field goal attempts, I thought really hurt our offense more than like being able to get in there. I thought we got in there, but we turned it over, and that was an issue.
I got time for a couple more questions. Go here and then.
Looking back to the season, there's a difference in the home and away games records. Do you think that will play a factor in the ACC, like tournament coming up, especially like the student section and stuff?
Yeah. I think if you look at most teams, they're better at home than on the road. And so that's like a whatever sport you look at, I think that's true. So we've worked really hard to try to start better on the road, to play better, to compete to the end. And that's why I told you, like, I'm disappointed I'm not discouraged, because we did do that today in a hard environment. Now you're in neutral site, so I don't know, are both going to play bad because neither of them at home? I don't know. We'll see in the tournament. But it is different. And it is a different backdrop, and it is a different ball, and it is a different environment, and there's more urgency when you play in the postseason because you get one chance. That is what we're going to hopefully have to work ourselves through, not after the game, but while the game's going on, because it's going to be the first ACC tournament for a lot of my players.
Last question.
Coach, you talked about turnovers a minute ago. North Carolina only had 2 assists in the first half. Can you talk about maybe what you thought you guys did well, just kind of stop the ball movement in the first half, and then what maybe went not wrong, but was less effective in the second half on that?
Well, I thought that they were doing a good job in the first half of scoring one-on-one, and so that doesn't lend itself to getting assists. And so, they did a great job in that first half of doing that. In the second half, we just missed some assignments, and we'll have to be better at that. We had too many missed assignments defensively today, and so I've got to do a better job as a coach of making sure, we're assignment correct. We're adhering to the scheme, because we just had too many breakdowns. And, we'll look at them, and we'll keep teaching, and then, as a staff, we just got to do a better job of making sure that we don't miss more assignments.
All right, thanks everyone.
Thank y'all.